Willkommen zurück zu The Zodiac Trial. Wir fangen einen neuen Pfad an, denn jetzt gehen wir nicht mit Bunny und Dog, meinen Boys, sondern wir gehen mit Ox und Dragon. I'll go with Ox and Dragon. It's good to be able to work with you. There are no worries. Picks for a third. There are worse picks for a third. I guess that leaves me with Bunny and Dog. Oh no, I should have picked sooner. You're not happy being with us? I'm offended. Ich verstehe dich. Jetzt, wo ich durch bin, verstehe ich dich. To speed things up, since time is now more of an essence, I say we should only recommence at the cafeteria once every 2 rounds. Sounds good? Sure thing. No one gave a shit about that in the first place. I don't. Ox, drop it. It's not worth arguing. Fine. So, is this fine with everybody? The situation works, right? Ich fang mal oben an. Let's do this. Yeah, let's get to searching. We can totally do this. Oh, Tiger! Dich habe ich noch gar nicht gesprochen, in den letzten 8 Parts geführt. Du lebst ja wieder. Gut zu sehen. Gut, dich zu sehen. Ich habe dich voll vergessen zwischendurch.
Now that's a spirit. Let's kick Brian's ass for thinking we can be fucked with.
Yeah, whatever. Just get to searching. We don't have time for this shit. Shit.
And just like that, our 4 groups of 3 split up. So, where do we want to look?
Doesn't really matter. Not really. But we have to make some sort of decision. Well, no shit, Sherlock. I'm just saying we don't need to waste time with a big discussion about us. Let's just start looking around. Fine. There is some glasswood on the first floor. I haven't had a chance to search through. Let's start there. Alright, so that's where we'll go.
Great teamwork, gang.
Is that what that was? Let me just talk about not wasting time.
Right, let's get started.
Great! Split up, gang! Scooby-Doo-Doo!
And get started we did. We began walking around the first floor, searching classrooms as a group. When the 3 of us worked together, we were able to cover a lot more space
than we otherwise would have been able to.
Working with Dragon and Ox makes scrolling around classrooms a cinch. However, there was one problem. We weren't actually finding any minor trinkets.
It couldn't be helped. The school was unusually large, so we were bound to run across a number of whiffs.
Still, I couldn't help but be annoyed that we seemed wasting the time. I had to tell myself that that wasn't the right way of thinking about it. I wasn't wasting time. I was eliminating possibilities.
Oh, das gefällt mir. Das ist gut. Den merke ich mir.
Dragon didn't seem to share my optimistic spirit.
Oh, for the love of fire. We've been searching for a while and yet we found Jack Shire. Calm down, won't you? I don't see what shouting about is going to do for the problem. It's going to stop me from heading things. Then shout away. Actually, bad idea. Let's take a momentary break from the search.
What? Ox, you can't be giving up already. Where's the spirit?
I'm not giving up on anything. I'm saying we should stop, split up, and enter our actions for this round. Yes, there's still a fair amount of time left, but it wouldn't hurt to get that out of the way sooner rather than later. At this rate, it is highly unlikely we would be able to use the minor trinkets, so I don't see the harm in just pressing run now. Fine by me. No reason to just input the actions now, and sitting waiting till the end.
Yep, good thinking, Ox. I'll stay in this room and you 2 can use the neighboring classroom.
Why do I have to move? Seriously, does every decision have to be a thing with you? I'm just...
forget it. I'll move to the next classroom, okay?
Don't misunderstand me. I'm fine moving. I just wasn't cool with you bossing me around like that.
Who cares?
Hey, didn't we talk about not wasting time on pointless conversation earlier? Which rooms we use for the half a minute it will take to operate our tablets seems to fall under the pointless conversation umbrella. Whatever. Without another word, Dragon stormed out of the room, and with a sigh, Ox followed her. Die beiden sind toll. Tolle Interaktion. Ich fühle mich wie auf einer Show von Seinfeld. Oder Frasier.
Okay, so there was room for improvement on the whole teamwork front. We could work at that. Anyways, since those 2 were gone, I could use this opportunity to choose an action on the tablet. It wasn't something I had to think about much. I just pressed the run button and that was that. And then I waited for the 2 to return. It didn't take long at all for Dragon to return. However, Ox took a bit to come back. And when he did, he looked perturbed. Ox, what's wrong?
I might die soon.
What?
Yeah, I think most of us are kind of in this situation right now. It's tense for all of us. I obviously don't mean just because of the general death game. Look, when I went into the other room and turned on my tablet, a message popped up on it.
A message?
It said, "You've been poisoned. Your veins are now infected with Kafka's toxin. This deadly venom will kill you at the end of the next round. Your only chance of survival is to drink the antidote." What is the antidote, you may ask? Blood from the dead body of the one who poisoned you.
A cold shiver went down my body as Ox spoke. That can't be. Are you serious?
Hurrah, fucking metal!
Metal. That's your first reaction?
I just call it how I see it. I shudder to think of the machinations of your mind. Well, fuck it too. Dragon! Ox has just been poisoned. This isn't the time for this. You know, you're right, I'm sorry. I already promised I wasn't going to have any pointless death in my watch, so I guess I gotta help figure out what's going on.
Oh, thank you. Anyways, what's the deal with the message? It's talking about venom, right? Do you think this has something to do with Snake?
Didn't the pack refuse to tell us what his ability was? Maybe this is that. I doubt it. Ich würde sagen, das würde auch nicht passen. Es muss ja innerhalb der Runde passieren, wo die Announcement kommt eigentlich. This is entirely different to all the other abilities. An effect of the scale seems more of the tune of a major trinket, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, that sounds right.
The Jade Emperor said that each animal was represented in a minor and a major trinket. This must be the work of Snake's major trinket. Additionally, it is a fair assumption that the person who used it is either the person with the victorious personality or the one with the defeated personality. After all, they benefit from death. On the other hand, the fact that you two apparently didn't receive this notification means that the trinket has limits. The culprit would have likely poisoned everyone given the chance. Perhaps the trinket can only poison one person at a time, or maybe it's a one-time use. But when could someone have gotten their hands on a major trinket? I made a search in groups to stop something like this from happening. Someone could have found it before the end of the third round. They then decided to keep it hidden from some unclear reason.
Wow, Ox. Even though you're in a horrifying position, you're still remaining composed.
We were on the verge of death the moment we got here. This merely speeds up the timetable. How afraid were you things? Don't think most stay it the way it do. While from a distance, it might not seem it, but being a prosecutor is actually one of the most stress-inducing jobs there is. Every day, I'm involved in one way or another with numerous cases that would define other people's whole lives. One slip up, and I let justice falter. One overexertion, and an innocent man might be put to death. One careless statement, and the people working for me will snatch my position. I don't take my work lightly. I've spent the past 4 years in a state of non-stop tension. At this point, I'm numb to it.
Wow, that's sad? Yeah, I think sad's the word for it.
I would have preferred impressive, but whatever. Still, I envy you. Not many are in a position where they can hold their own death so lightly. Do not get me mistaken. In no way do I hold my life in low gravities. I do not intend on passing without a fight. I will find who has poisoned me, and I will not show them mercy. Oh, how dramatic. I'm loving your energy. Ah!
The speakers in the room had suddenly kicked to life, and the Jade Emperor's voice played with its familiar distortion.
Brian, why are you chiming in now? Simply to mock me? Pretty much. I've got to say, I'm so glad you get to squirm. Don't get me wrong, Mouse and Dragon and all of you deserve to be here. But you Ox, you really need a kick in the teeth. I was looking forward to seeing how a hamster footer like you would hold up in this place. And now, it looks like your death will be caused by a tool of corruption. The one who carried out a malicious cover-up and killed my dirt! How's that for irony?
Irony?
Anyways, I should leave you to your little mysteries. Figure out to poison you, or don't, and die. I'm hoping for the latter. Ciao.
And like that, he was gone.
God, what a swarmy prick. The kid needs to kick in the groin, or like 2 or 3, or like 7 kicks in the groin. He needs a lot more than that. But was it about a tool of corruption? A cover-up?
He was just trying to get on your head.
In your head, not under your head, in your head. I don't think so. Why bluff about something like that? But no, he can't be right. Morse was guilty, no matter what angle you looked at it. Evidence, testimony, motive, common sense, they all align perfectly. There's no way that could be faked. I didn't...
Ox, snap out of it! This is why he bluffed about something like this. He knew it'd get in your head.
But if there truly was some sort of cover-up involved, and if the person behind that cover-up poisoned me, this could be a clue.
I'm with Mouth on this one. Don't get overly worked up about this.
I'm not getting overly worked up. Okay, fine. I'm sorry, you two. But for the sake of my life, I'm going to have to ask that I abandon this search for minor trinkets. The poison won't kick in until the end of my next round. That leaves me with plenty of time to investigate on my own. I trust that you understand.
Of course. Do what you need to do. Try and figure out who did it.
Yeah, man, go for it. I doubt you're the type to be too dangerous when left on his undevised anyways, so there's no problem with you going on your own. I take offense to that. I could be in quite a lot of trouble on my own if I choose to be. Oh, so you want us to tell you? No, that won't be necessary. That's what I figured. Well then, I shall be off. With that, Ox executed himself.
With that, Ox excused himself to go begin his quest for self-preservation.
With that, Drang and I were left in an empty classroom. What a shitty situation for him.
Yeah, I don't see this ending well.
True. Well, better him than me, I suppose. Let's get back to looking for the minor trinket.
Is that the right move?
What are you talking about?
I mean, we want to make sure that most people live through this, right? It seems to me like this poisoner is a big deal, don't you think? Shouldn't we try to find who it is ourselves?
Ox said he had to.
He can say that, but who knows if he actually does? Sure, if he had enough time, he'd probably be able to figure it out, but he's on a real time crunch. Our help might be able to provide some insight he won't be able to do it. He won't be able to do in time.
That sounds like a pain, but I guess a bit searching through empty classrooms, huh? Alright, why the hell not? Let's be detective. I always good at sniffing out the rats in my crew. This shouldn't be too different.
Sniffing out rats?
You know, snitches, cowards alike. Can't have them around you now, make us look weak. Maintaining control, all about having every link of the chain be strong.
If I might ask, how did you figure out who the rats were?
Oh, I didn't do anything special. Bit of intimidation, bit of violence, whatever worked.
Yeah, I think we might need a different strategy here.
Really?
We might get pushed back from the group if we get that, extreme.
Fine, whatever. Ich liebe Dragon. Ich weiß, ich habe die Stimme gegeben, aber ich finde, sie klingt wirklich wie so eine oh my god, I don't care what that's ever. You can later investigation. You're a lawyer, whatever.
A law student.
Same deaf. You're smart, so you can be the lead. I'll just be your backup.
You know, I like the sound of that. Mouse and Dragon, the dynamic duo. Partners in seeking justice.
And that's enough of that. Okay, so, how do we start this investigation? Oh my god! Oh, those are a lot of options. Let's see. Tiger, snake, dog, bunny, sheep. I don't know. Mal gucken. Wer ist mit wem gegangen? Kann ich nachgucken schnell? Kann ich kurz nachgucken, wer mit wem gegangen ist? Überhaupt kurz? Bitte? Hallo? Kann ich kurz gucken, wer mit wem gegangen ist? Dann kann ich ein bisschen mehr über... An sich bin ich ja sowieso nie allein gegangen. Ich bin ja meist mit Leuten gegangen, deswegen. Passt schon, ne? Mal gucken. So. Ah, okay. Okay, ist Tiger und Snake und Rooster sind zusammengegangen. Und Monkey geht mit Sheep und Horse. Okay. Und dann bin ich mit Ox und Horse und Bunny. Okay. Horse, Bunny und Pig sind zusammengelaufen. Ja, gut, das ist ja Warum soll ich eine Gruppe fragen, wo 3 Leute drin sind? Das ist doch irgendwie dumm. Oder sehe ich das falsch? Okay. Tiger, Snake, Dog, Bunny, oh, warte. Dog, Bunny? Tiger und Snake waren zusammen und Sheep war allein. Ich geh mal zu Sheep. How about we try talking with Sheep? Sheep? What on earth is the use of talking to someone like her?
Sheep seems very honest, so I don't think she'll try and hide anything. And she was also Amedeus Bowen's secretary, right? If there was shady business going on with him, she'd probably be the first one to know. I think it's a decent place to try and poke around.
Well, you're the one apparently calling the shots. Fine. We'll talk with Sheep.
Great, thanks.
Okay, wo ist Sheep? Sheep! Sheep!
And with that decided, the two of us began our search for Sheep. It didn't take long.
Sheep! Sheep?
We quickly found her searching in a classroom on the first floor with Horse and Monkey.
Mouse, Dragon, what are you two doing here?
Hi, Sheep. Horse, Monkey. Hello there.
I echo Sheep's question. What are you two doing here?
Watch out with that attitude, would ya?
You lecture me about attitude.
Will the two of you knock it off? Dragon and I are just here to ask some questions. Ask whatever you like. First of all, do any of you know anything about Kafka's toxin? The 3 blank looks immediately told me I was barking up the wrong tree. You know what? Forget it.
Wait, I want to know what you're talking about.
Trust me, you don't. How about this? Do any of you know anything about corruption involving Amedeus Bowen? Or the trial of Mr. Morris? This question actually provoked some interesting reactions. Corruption? I must apologize. I do not personally know anything regarding the matter. However, speaking as Brian's therapist, I can say he certainly believed things were not right regarding the trial of his father. I suppose this is breaking patient line confidentially. But these circumstances weren't this, I would imagine. And though, Brian would often go on about how things weren't right with his father's arrest and execution. He was convinced there was something more to it. I will admit, things seemingly happened more speedily than they would normally. However, there's no evidence to suggest this was a result of any malice. The evidence of his father's guilt was plain as day. Brian just was never able to accept it.
I feel his pain. Many boys idolize their father. A father's words can be deeply ingrained in a young boy's psyche, permeating their conscience. If Brian's father earnestly told Brian it was innocent, it's likely Brian would believe it no matter what. What an irresponsible father, leaving a son in that state.
It must have been rough for Brian too.
Oh, warte. Oh, ich hasse diesen Wechsel von schnell, dunkel zu... Ne, dunkel, langsam zu schnell, hoch. Kurzen Schluck. Lecker. Apfelsaft. Voll gut.
It must have been rough for Brian to go through so much at the young age. When a family member dies when you're young, it can definitely affect how you live your life.
Alright. What about your Shab?
Me? I don't...
What do you know about corruption?
Corruption? Alright, yes, corruption. Well, I know I shouldn't speak ill of the dad, but Mr. Bowen wasn't exactly, There were a lot of bad rumors about him, some of which may have been true. He was a very powerful man with many famous connections, but some say that he got those connections through a creative use of leverage.
So blackmail.
I can't say anything on that nature, but nothing I learned from my position would exactly refute those allegations. He definitely had a lot of enemies. Oh, but that's not to say that Morris isn't the killer. Morris had a deep amount of resentment for Bowen and the way he ran things. The two would often get in arguments, and it's clear from the case that Morris had to be the killer. I mean, I was there the whole time, and Morris was the only one who met with Bowen during the time of death. I don't think the trial was in any way corrupt, if that's what you're asking.
I can't speak much to any of this. I was only a minor witness in all of this. I have very little involvement with either man.
Okay then. Well, this was all very useful to hear. Thanks for sharing. No problem.
You still haven't told us why you came to ask these questions. And why are you not with Ox?
Okay, see you guys later.
Like that, I grabbed Dragon's wrist and walked away. Despite Dragon's protest, I didn't stop walking until we got back to the classroom we came from. Why'd you let go of me? Chris, you've got to grab. Who do you think you are to grab onto me like that? Oh, relax. Anyways, I would say that was a very fruitful integration. We got plenty of information on Amadeus Bowen. Really? Personally, I didn't hear anything I didn't already pretty much know. There definitely wasn't anything I caught particularly game-changing and all of that.
Well, we'd have to agree to disagree then.
I guess. Dragon leaned against the wall. She took out a silver lighter with a red dragon emblem on it and began spinning it around in her fingers. God, if ever there was a time to smoke, it'd be now. Wish I had some cigarettes on me. You know those are horrible for your health, right? Oh, really? I think you're the first person to tell me that. Sorry. There are already enough occupational hazards to my health. I don't think the rest of smoking really tipped the scale too much.
She lit the lighter and started at the flame for a bit.
That's a neat lighter. It was a boyfriend's.
You have a boyfriend?
I had one.
Oh. Did you break up with him?
Dragon unlit the lighter and put it in her pocket. He's not with us anymore.
Oh. Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to.
It's fine. I'm over it. But you know, I still got these thoughts. If I hadn't let those damn scorpions get us so uppity. Scorpions? You know, mouse, all of life is a struggle for control. Who has what amount of it? If you're not controlling other people, you're being controlled. And if you don't actively try and gain control, it's your fault when you're powerless later in life. Life's a fight that never stops. Let up in a fight for a sec and your opponent can gain ground. If that's spirit, the more time we stand here talking about Jackal, the more time the poisoner gets to make the next move. Come on, let's get back to investigation.
Sure thing. As for who to investigate next.
Okay, wir haben wieder eine Wahl. Sehr gut, sehr gut, sehr gut. Gut, dann beenden wir den Part hier. Der Wechsel von Horse zu Sheep, von Horse zu Sheep zu Bunny zu Sheep. Nee, Bunny gar nicht, war Monkey. Von Horse zu Monkey zu Dragon zu Sheep zu Horse zu Sheep. Oh, das war zu anstrengend. Egal. Aber wir haben viel Fortschritt gemacht. Ich meine, wir haben wenigstens was Neues rausgefunden. Ein neues Major Trinket anscheinend. Und zwar das Poisonous Kit. Anscheinend oder sowas. Genau. So ist eine Art auf jeden Fall. Und wir spielen jetzt Detektiv. Sherlock Maus und Dr. Dragon. Eine neue Sendung auf Netflix. Ich danke wie immer euch fürs Zugucken. Danke, dass ihr da seid. Und schreibt mir gerne in die Kommentare, wer ihr glaubt. Wer hat wohl. Wie hieß er nochmal? Ox. Wer hat wohl Ox vergiftet? War es Snake? War es Tiger? War es Dog? War ich es? Nein, ich war es nicht, glaube ich. Ich glaube, ich war es nicht. War es vielleicht Dragon? Also ich tippe jetzt mal auf Tiger vielleicht. Ich weiß nicht wieso. Es könnte auch Pig sein, weil Pig nie auf der Skala drauf ist. Ich weiß nicht, mal gucken. Wir werden sehen. Auf jeden Fall, wie gesagt, danke fürs Zugucken und bis nächstes Mal. Tschüss.